of these things I kept running into all of these walls. My depression was just skyrocketing. Like, everything that I thought I knew was no longer. And it's just like, God, I'm tired. I need peace. I need peace. So the enemy is dangling this place that looks like it's going to be peaceful for me. It looks like it's going to be good for me. It looks like it's a blessing, but really it was just more obstacles, more chaos, more drama. But yet again, we serve a God that still protected me through that still made a way for me through that still is just like, no, I still have my hands on my daughter. I still have my hands on my son, and I'm going to cover them even though they don't want to listen to me right now. Man, when I say that conversation was so good with my... Hey family, welcome back to another episode. But before we jump into it, if y'all say y'all my family and y'all not subscribed yet, oh no. Y'all might be the distant cousins on my daddy's side. Because I know you're subscribed. But if you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. And if you are subscribed, go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up, or go ahead and drop a comment just to let me know where you guys are locking in from, or any type of feedback you have on the videos, how it maybe encouraged you or inspired you to do anything in your life right now. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate all of the love thus far. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode. Hey VIP family, and welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Desi Shanae. Y'all, this is episode 8, and I realized that I've never actually done like an intro introducing myself. Y'all probably like, who is this girl and why is she talking to me? My bad, y'all. But welcome back to another episode, and I promise this time we're gonna make it quick. And I know every time I say we're gonna make it quick, it always turns out to be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But this time I really do want to make it quick. I have been going through a season, y'all. And I know God's will, I'm finalizing a lot of things, and I really want to like bring you guys along on what's been going on and what is to come. So far on this channel, we've been doing a lot of sit-down conversations, but I do want to, bring you guys some different content, such as vlogs and, days in my life, just so you guys can see a different aspect of, my everyday life, things that I, am currently going through, have gone through, and, things to come. Because one thing about it on this journey, nothing is a linear path, okay? There's going to be ups, downs, lefts, rights, back flips, front flips, all the flips, and I definitely don't want to just have this one aspect where it's just like, okay, this is what I've been through, this is what I've been healed from, and just trying to give you guys, things that work for me. Like, this is still an active journey, even just for me. And y'all, the things have been going. As I always say, what is guanin? Okay, what is guanin? Because life is always guanin. But I definitely kind of just wanted to jump in really quick and talk about something that I've been able to talk about with a very good friend of mine. And I promise y'all, one thing that I am super, super, super grateful and appreciative is the friends who have been able to help me along in my journey, whether it's just checking in on me to making sure that I'm okay, having conversation with me, helping me through seasons, praying for me, just being a listening ear, and not being judgmental when I'm expressing the things that I'm going through or thinking about or processing or whatever it may be. So this is actually, I'm bringing y'all in and bringing y'all into the conversation that I've actually had this week with a friend of mine. And, one of the things that I try to, y'all, as I have been on this journey as well, especially coming on this platform and talking about my healing journey, I realize that we do talk about God a lot. And I don't want this to be confused with, some type of, I don't want it to become or portray something that y'all think I am. Because like anybody else, yes, I grew up in church. Like I grew up in church my entire life. But it's only really in the last recent years, like maybe within the last almost decade, that I've been trying to build a real relationship with God, like my own relationship, not just having a relationship based off of the relationship that my mother or my grandmother had. Like I am going before God and building a relationship personally with him. And I say all of that to say, like, I don't want this platform or these videos or whatever to come off as though, like, I'm super holy than thou and this and that. Like, y'all, I still struggle with cussing. When I go out, I still like to have a little drink or two. People have their different thoughts on, alcohol and stuff like that. I still like to have a drink or two. I still have ratchet friends. I still have ratchet habits. Like, I still struggle with listening to secular music because as a Jamaican, and especially old cartel old right now, right? Especially since cartel is old. How could I not listen to cartel right now? Now, don't get me wrong. There may be a moment in my path and my journey where God will convict me of these things. And also, I do see that lately, I do listen to a lot more gospel music or a lot more like R&B music. I don't really listen to like the sex, money, guns, hip hop and rap. I don't really listen to that even prior to me really getting into a relationship with God. But there are things that I am also still struggling with as I walk in my faith journey. So I don't ever want to come out here and make it seem like I have it all put together and, I'm in my Bible 4 or 5 hours a day and all of these things. Like, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I just love the fact that, here we're being authentic, we're being transparent, and I'm just sharing with y'all as it comes to me. Like, literally, we are a family here, and there are going to be days or moments that I make mistakes, and I'm going to be like, y'all, I'm sorry, but this what happened, or what had happened was, you all know when the story starts with what had happened was, but I'm like, each and every one of y'all, like, I'm just trying to figure out how to get it right. One thing I do know is that because Jesus is in my heart, regardless of how many mistakes I make, I am going to heaven. That's a guaranteed. But I want to live a life that is pleasing to God. And as he's working in me, he gonna work in me, and then he's gonna work through me. So that is the journey that I'm on. I don't want to come on here and portray, that I'm perfect, holier than thou, because it ain't that. It ain't that. I'm a 20-something-year-old girly who is just trying to figure it out, who has dealt with loss, who has dealt with grief, who has dealt with depression, who has dealt with, lust, who has dealt with, addiction in smoking weed. Like, that's who I am. And as God has been revealing things to me on my journey, I just hope that I can share it with y'all and it can inspire or encourage you to try something different in your life. Try something better or becoming better. My biggest thing is just to become the greatest version of myself. I'm not competing with nobody else but the person that I was yesterday. That's it. That's it, and that's all. So with that being said, I am going to talk about God today because because on this journey, one thing I know for sure is that God is truly the only person that can help me change. Okay? There are other things that are like, supplements, vitamins that are going to assist you through the journey. But the foundation, it's going to be God. It's going to be God. Whether I know every scripture or not, it's going to be God. Okay, and this is why we are in our word, learning the word, learning the character of God. And again, as I learn, I just want to share with y'all and hopefully it can encourage y'all. So with that being said, I said this was going to be quick. I love talking with y'all, okay? But, going back to the conversation that I had with my friend this week, one of the scriptures that we were talking about was Romans. Actually, no. I'm going to start with Jeremiah 6:16. And all of these scriptures that I'm reading is going to be from the NLT. And I say all these scriptures, only two. So first I'm going to start with Jeremiah 6:16. And it says, "This is what the Lord says. Stop at the crossroads and look around. Ask for the old godly way and walk in it. Travel its path, and you will find rest for your souls." But you reply, "No, that's not the road we want." And in this conversation that I was having with my friend, I was quickly reminded about how many times God has probably told us to go left, but we decided to go right because we thought we knew better. He's telling you where to go. He's telling you where to go where you will have, less trials and tribulations, where he already made the path clear for you, where he done made your crooked path straight. But because you think you know better, you're going to just go ahead and go the way that you want to go because that's just what you want to do. And this is what kind of leads me into the next scripture, which is going to be Romans 12:3, that says, "Because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us." Listen, the Bible is just one book that as you read it, it's going to read you. And literally, it made me kind of think about just decisions that I've made in my life. I can even, prime example, I feel like, and this is years later, y'all. I lived in Atlanta in 2017 and I left in 2019. And when I really sit down and I think about it, I'm like, I don't even think God told me to go to Atlanta. This is where that real mature. Hey, so sorry to interrupt your video right now, but as you know, we are on our road to hitting our first 100 subscribers. Now, if you're already subscribed, I so appreciate you. But if you're not, I'm gonna need you to hit that subscribe button now. Please. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. And if you are a part of the VIP family already, hit that like and drop a comment so I know where you guys are watching from. Love you so much. Let's head back into the video. As you grow in your faith, you have to sit down and really evaluate your life and realize that there were certain things that happened in your life, not because of the enemy, but because of the decisions you made, that I made, that caused me to be in situations that I had no business to be in. I had no business to be in that situation, but because I thought I knew better, because I thought more highly of myself, because I thought I knew it all, because I thought I knew the path of which I was supposed to go on. I found myself in situations and circumstances and environments and relationships that I had no business being in. But yet we serve a God. Come on, somebody. We serve a God that is so good. He's so good that he will use our own mistakes, the mistakes that we self-inflicted on ourselves, for our good. He's that good. Like, he's literally that good, because I kid you not, even though today is 2025. We in the year of 2025. I left Atlanta in 2019. So that's like 6 years later. I'm now having this revelation where it's just like, God, did I really do that in my own will? I was out here trying to, feed my own desires, that I took it upon myself to take myself up and go someplace that you did not send me. Talking about some, oh, God gonna make a way. But one thing about it, God will still bless you even when you are in places and environments he didn't even send you to. Like, imagine, our Father in heaven loves us so, so much. He loves us so much that he will literally still give you opportunities, still give you blessings, still, give you grace and mercy and kindness and patience and all of these things. He will still give you all of that even when you out here doing things that he did not call you to do. But when things go left, we immediately is just like, God, where you at? Like, God, where you at? But you wasn't even listening to God in the beginning when he told you don't go. I told you to go right, but you out here going left. You going left. I told you to go right. And that is just the example that we're seeing in Jeremiah 6, where it's just like God is literally telling them what to do. Literally telling them, ask for the old way. Ask for the old godly way and walk in it. Travel its path and you will find rest. You will find peace. But we so stubborn. We so hard-headed. And I'm not even going to say we. I'm going to say me. I'm so stubborn. I'm so hard-headed. I think so highly of myself. I think I know it all. And mind y'all go easy on me. At this time, like literally when I moved to Atlanta, my mom this is like 6 months after my mom had just passed away. Drama after drama after drama. And honestly, I was just tired of it. And if you being real transparent, honestly, I went to Atlanta just so I could stay out of jail. And that's a story within a story. And one day we will definitely dive into that. But in all honesty, I was just running away from having to face my problems because I felt like the path, the obstacle that was set before me just seemed way too hard. It just felt like, all of these things I kept running into all of these walls. My depression was just skyrocketing. Like, everything that I thought I knew was no longer. And it's just like, God, I'm tired. I need peace. I need peace. So the enemy is dangling this place that looks like it's going to be peaceful for me. It looks like it's going to be good for me. It looks like it's a blessing, but really it was just more obstacles, more chaos, more drama. But yet again, we serve a God that still protected me through that still made a way for me through that still is just like, no, I still have my hands on my daughter. I still have my hands on my son, and I'm going to cover them even though they don't want to listen to me right now. Man, When I say that conversation was so good with my friend, and it's just like, how many of us, how many times, and I'm pretty sure there's other areas of my life where I can sit down and evaluate and probably come up with the same revelation where it's just like, oh, that relationship, that situationship that you entered that you had no business entering in. Yeah. Yeah, but in the beginning, you're just like, oh, this is so good. This is so fun. They're such a great person. And towards the end, you're just like, baby, you are a devil. How could I have ever entertained this? How could I ever put myself in this situation? But it's because you thought, again, let me stop saying you. Let me say I. I thought of myself so highly. I thought of myself so highly, but we have to measure ourselves by the faith God has given us. So instead of like in this season where I'm making decisions once again that can literally change the trajectory of me reaching my purpose, me reaching my destiny, instead of me just making the decision on my own, I got to sit back and I got to invite God into the situation and be like, God, where you want me to go? Where do you want me to go? Because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm over it. Obviously, I be thinking, I be knowing, but obviously I don't. Because every time, I think I be knowing what be going on for real, I find myself in yet another situation that I ain't got no business being in. And then I got to call on you to come rescue me. And even though God is going to come and rescue you, there comes a point where it's just like, God, I'm tired of being rescued. I'm tired of having to be rescued. Like, I'm grateful that you're going to come rescue me, but I'm tired of being rescued. I want prosperity. I want abundance. I want overflow. I want what you have for me. Lord, allow my desires and my will to align with the will that you have for me. And that is what I'm doing in this season. That is exactly what I'm doing in this season. I'm taking the time to invite my Father into every decision that I have to make and saying, God, direct my path. Holy Spirit, go before me and make that crooked path straight. Tell me what it is that you need from me in this season, because I don't want to keep falling short. I don't want to keep having to go through those tests. Like, Lord, I'm grateful for the testimony that you have given me thus far. But some of these tests, I feel like I just keep repeating because I'm not learning my lesson. I'm not learning my lesson. I gotta learn my lesson because, a hard head makes a soft behind. And baby, my behind is soft enough. I got to now take those lessons and put them into, action. I want to take those lessons and put them into action now because, baby, I'm tired. So, yeah. That's really all I wanted to come on here and share with y'all today. As I'm going on this journey, as I'm learning, as I'm growing, as I'm, developing and, really cultivating a real relationship with God. For one, I've been learning one of his characteristics is that he's very sarcastic and very shady. I don't know if that's just me, but I be feeling like, God, you could have, you're so shady. But as a father, a lot of people, they kind of look at you when you say, oh, father. Like, God is truly a father. He's a father who is going to bless you, but he's also a father who's going to correct you. He's going to discipline you. And it's really up to you because, as a father as well, he gives us free will. He gives us free will to make our own decisions. You know, he gives us free will to, you know, either go make the decision on our own or bring it to him and consult with him on where we should actually go. So I leave this with y'all. And I encourage y'all to, if you're making this, if you're in a space, in a season where you feel like you have to make a decision, invite your father into the conversation. Invite your father into the circumstance, you know, and ask him, what is it that you want from me in this season? Where do you want me to go in this season? What kind of people do you want me to converse with, that you want me to connect with in this season? You know, different things, different habits, different discipline, different consistencies are needed in different seasons of our lives. So hopefully this can encourage y'all, because I know it definitely encouraged me having that conversation. And yeah, y'all. So if there is, you know, maybe an example or something, or even a decision that you even have to make right now in this season, go ahead, just drop it in the comments. I want to have this conversation with y'all even after this video. And, you know, don't be afraid to just ask God questions. I know, you know, Christian culture will be like, oh, you can't question God. Well, baby, I got questions. So I'm gonna ask my father these questions, okay? So I love y'all, but for real, y'all can't get away from me. And I'll definitely see y'all next time on the next episode.